Pick the Nintendo Shack and pray. Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening says, yo.
Greetings, Koopalings! Welcome to this week's episode of the Nintendo Shack podcast. It is Nintendo Switch Sports launch week. I am back after an exciting week at PAX East, and I missed Elaine. She was back on the show last week, and now she's not, but you know what? She will be back. She said she's taking this week off. She had an important dinner tonight, but she will be back next week, and then finally, the Shack crew will be reunited.
Once again.
How are you doing, Garrett?
I'm doing great. I am wearing a Vita shirt, so I'm doing very, very awesome. I've been playing more of my Vita. I know we are a Vita-centric podcast here, so I'm going to talk all about the PS Vita today. So how are you doing, Rebecca?
Are we going to be rebranding as the Vita Shack?
Yeah, the Vita Shack. Sorry, Donnie. This is what's going to happen, okay? All the JRPGs in the ateliers.
A few weeks ago, we rebranded to the Steam Shack. Now we're rebranding to the Vita Shack. Goodness gracious, we need some exciting Nintendo news to kickstart us back into the I feel like it's just been not dry. I feel like dry isn't the right word to call it, but it hasn't been very hype, I don't think, lately.
It's been a drought. No joke. The past, I would say, since the last Direct. Okay, we've gotten some little things here and there. We got the Xenoblade Chronicles 3. That's great. Bumped it up. That's great. But there's no Splatoon 3, well, there was the date announcement, I guess. But there wasn't a Direct or anything,
and I feel like a lot of the news has been delays. Advanced Wars got taken off the schedule. We're going to be talking about the Mario movie delay a little bit later.
Right.
Splatoon, I feel like, is releasing later than I expected. It's coming out. I didn't get a chance to talk about this, but it's coming out at the end of the summer.
Yes,
what was it?
Very end.
September 9th or something like that.
Very early September,
I was hoping that it would be releasing the beginning of July, the end of June, somewhere that I could be playing it all summer. So that's a little bit sad, but I don't know. Yeah. We need something to hype us up. And I've been playing Nintendo Switch Sports, which I'll talk about my impressions of that in a little bit. That releases tomorrow. And spoiler alert, don't think that's the hype that we are waiting for. But I don't know. We'll see.
You don't know?
Coming up.
Yeah. What's the next thing? What's the very next Nintendo first party game? We got Strikers.
I think Strikers is the next, right?
That's the next one. Yeah.
Are you hyped for
that?
Get
hyped.
You're hyped for that.
I mean, I don't know. There wasn't much pop-up about it yet.
They haven't shown anything. And I feel like, remember a few weeks ago, we talked about how Nintendo's strategy as of late is to really focus on one game. They're really putting efforts behind whatever their current game is.
True.
I don't think they even really hyped up Switch Sports very much. It was really just Kirby until
now. Here we got this family party game you can
don't forget it's
get.
Coming out.
Yeah, there's a trailer. There's some sports there.
They're talking more about Xenoblade instead of Switch Sports.
Xenoblade, let me tell you, the fans there, they're going crazy right now. They're to the point of bawling. They're crying when they see this trailer. I'm like, guys, it's okay. Calm down. It's not the end of the world, okay? It's just Xenoblade Chronicles 3. They've been hyping up more of that than the Switch Sports and Strikers, which is kind of interesting to see. Maybe some potential there. But talk about PAX East. I want to hear all about it.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It was so much fun. I'm so glad that I went. It was my first PAX. I had so much fun just meeting so many people. I met friends who I've been talking online with for so long, and now I get to finally meet them in person. Some that I have met once or twice before, and just got to hang out with all weekend. it was just a cool vibe. So many people, so many games, so many, like I stood in line to demo so many games. I feel like I should have used my media pass a little bit more to my advantage, because I had the Twinfinite media badge and I could have scheduled all these appointments to demo these games early, but I'm like, I know I should have. I didn't really do my research for like what games I wanted to demo. I wish I had taken the time to do that. But me and my friends, we did stand, in line to demo a few games. We waited like 2 hours, me and Mary, so that Mary could play Devolver Digital's Cult of the Lamb. I don't know if you ever heard that one before.
Yep.
They were doing 20-minute demos, so it was a super duper long line. Like we
that
tried
is a
to wait
long
the
line,
first
long
day.
demo. Wow.
Yeah, and a lot of people were interested. Even I think Twinfinite, we did have like an appointment for that, but they canceled all of their media appointments because there were so many fans that were interested, and they're like, we just gotta like let this, be a line. So we waited forever, and I got to watch Mary play, and I am typically not interested in roguelikes at all, but it looks really adorable and really cool.
Cult of the Lamb.
And so I think I might want to try that. It comes out on Switch later this year, apparently. I played I don't think it's coming to Switch. I think it's a Steam game. This game called Writer's Block, which is kind of like, it's not like Wordle. I shouldn't say it's like Wordle, but just Wordle is like in my mind as far as word games go. And you have to take the letters that are like in the box and try to make words, but then sometimes they come up at different like colors, and like you get more points for using those letters, or you have to avoid those letters. And it's kind of like an RPG because your words attack the other, the enemy.
Oh, that's like kind of neat.
The longer word, or like the more points that you score, attack the enemy, and like they can attack back at you if you use letters that you shouldn't have used. That was pretty cool. A lot of cool stuff. I wanted to demo Shredder's Revenge. The line was like the longest ever, so I didn't wait for that one.
I bet.
But yeah, just a really cool weekend. There were some cool panels. I got to be on a panel. It was so scary.
That's cool.
Packed. I talked about Zelda. It was really cool. I would recommend conventions.
Did you get Union Square donuts? Did you have time?
No, I didn't. Listen,
all right.
I didn't get Union Donuts. There was this really good cannoli place that was like another bakery type thing.
Oh,
and yeah,
was it in
like
Little Italy?
Yes, it was like on that street.
Oh, I went there.
Oh my gosh.
Good.
It's so good.
Top
It
notch.
was so delicious. So many good baked goods. I got 2 cannolis. They were amazing. We also, I should have realized, we all should have realized, don't try to get dinner in Boston on a Saturday night between the hours of like 6 and midnight, because we ended up walking around for like 2 hours trying to find somewhere that would accommodate like all of the people that we were with. And then like we were with somebody who was under 21, so we couldn't like get into any of the bars because they carded us. And
you should have done hot pot. There's a lot of hot pot places around. It's really good.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, that's the Chinese like kind of fondue type of arrangement where there's a broth in the middle, and they give you a bunch of food, and it's meant for like a huge table.
Oh man, that would have been good.
Yeah. They have some good ones over there, so
I'll
recommend next time.
Boston was cool. Would definitely go back. It was a good time.
Cool. Well, I'm glad you had a good weekend on that.
Yeah. And then I'll save my I want to hear what you've been up to. I want to hear what you've been playing. Then then I'll talk about my Switch Sports impressions.
Sounds good.
I played that.
Well, I mentioned last week that I finished Nobody Saves the World, and I stand by that is my game of the year. I will repeat it probably a lot throughout the year until some other game beats it. So yeah, Nobody Saves the World. It's out on Switch. It's cheap. Go get it. Please play it. It is super, super fun. All right. So really short. I've been still playing SMT5, Shin Megami Tensei 5. I am 47 hours in. I am getting there. It's a lot. I'm getting there. I put out a tweet like, I don't know, before the weekend. It's like, hey, I made it to the final area. And the reason why I put that there is because in the walkthrough I was looking at, it was literally like the last tab on like the little walkthrough thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm in the final area, right? No, I am not in the final area. As I dive deep down into this walkthrough, I'm like, oh no, it keeps going. I guess there's a page 2.
I was gonna say, is it like the last tab, but it's like this long?
No, I am probably on the second to last area. I'm in the last big open area that the game has. So I am pretty much there. The story is very convoluted. It's very and I think it's a lot with Shin Megami Tensei games. They always related to religion and God and all this weird things, and it just goes to places, and I'm like, this doesn't make sense at all. Like, what is happening? It's very Japanese in this sense. Like, hey, the creator God is dead, and then all these other gods are trying to take over the throne of the universe and make the rules.
Is this just out of nowhere, or was it leading up to this?
I don't think it was leading up to it, because the first, like, the beginning of the game is basically like Japan. You go to the future, and it's the apocalypse, and demons are crawling everywhere in Tokyo. Then you go back, and then they're like, actually, Tokyo's been destroyed for many, many years. This is actually just a copy of Tokyo. I'm like, oh my goodness, guys, what are you doing with this game?
Oh no.
It's way more convoluted than Persona games, and I'm just like, I'm kind of done with this.
Sounds like.
Yeah, and the end of the game is basically like, hey, do you want to like take over the throne of the universe and control it how the way you want, or you want to destroy it and leave humanity just as it be? Or it's just like, oh my gosh, there's just a lot of things going on with the story. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna enjoy the game for what it is. I'm not gonna really get into all the, I don't know, the story beats of it is so weird.
I didn't know it had that convoluted of a story.
Me neither, until like I went through this huge hurdle of like, okay, I defeated this demon king. Okay, the people I was helping, I got to beat that boss too. And so it just went everywhere. And I'm like, okay, I just want to get kind of done with this game now. I'm kind of just done with the story.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the game. Don't get me wrong. The game's great. It's just like there's no like
gameplay over story.
Yeah, the motivation's just like, whew, okay, whatever. I've been doing side quests on it too, so just trying to make my stuff stronger, trying to get more monsters. You get a lot of unique monsters in these side quests, so just been doing that. But man, I'm ready to get done. I'm like, I think within 10 hours left. I think I can get done with this game. That's what I think.
Can't give it up now if you're that far.
Right? I'm invested into this thing. I got to see it through. So
absolutely.
After that, I got plenty of other RPGs to catch up on my Switch, but we'll see how that
50
goes.
50 more hours.
Well, I want to get through Xenoblade Chronicles 2 before 3, and I'm going to have to start that soon.
Now the clock is ticking. You don't have until September anymore.
No, I don't have till September. I still have late July, so I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, that needs to be the next priority.
And Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is a beast. And then Torna Country, the DLC, is a beast itself. So, this is going to be...
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah. Guys, I'm having fun. No, it's okay. I'm having fun. Don't worry.
Sounds like you're having a blast.
I'm having so much fun. But other than that, I'm ready to get back to my Xbox though and play another game. I have Tunic downloaded on there. I also have Paradise Killer downloaded. What else do I have? There was another indie that I really wanted to play. Death's Door. I want to play through that as well.
I want to get back to that one too. Yeah, I have so many indies that are just sitting on my Switch or on Steam that like I just like need to just sit down and dive into.
Yeah, for sure. And then of course Ryan keeps reminding me every week, Golden Sun. You're gonna have to do that sometime, right? And
we're not gonna have time for Golden Sun. Live Alive or Live Alive or whatever is coming out soon.
Live Alive. Yeah, that's true.
Okay, I'm here. I'm calling it right now. I'm calling it Live Alive. I don't care if that's right. Every time that I refer to it from now on, it's going to be Live Alive. Don't correct me. That's what it is.
You heard it right here, folks. It is
Live
Live
Alive.
Alive. Oh,
no.
Okay. Got it. Live Alive. Got it.
Whatever.
Okay, go. Sounds good. All right, that's pretty much it, Rebecca. That's all I've been playing. Yeah.
This should be how it's pronounced. If you're saying that's how you thought, I mean, it only makes sense. Like a lot. I don't know. That's how it sounds like it should be to me. Live alive, like you're alive. Live alive. Live alive. What does that mean? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, live alive.
Live alive. What? No.
Live alive. Okay. Why do they have to name it that? Anyways, it's just confusing to everyone now.
It's so confusing.
Thank you,
anyway,
Japan.
Thank you, Japan. For the past week, I have been playing Nintendo Switch Sports. It releases tomorrow. We'll do a review, a roundup, and then my impressions. So it's sitting at a nice 75 on Metacritic.
Beautiful.
73 on OpenCritic. I gave it a 3 out of 5, which is the lowest score on Metacritic last time I checked.
Cool.
Maybe I was a little harsh on it. I don't know. I don't think it's a bad game at all. I think it is exactly what it looks like. What you see is what you get. Though there were a couple things that I think disappointed me a little tiny bit. I did not know until I started. I'm sorry, Sean Capri. Sean Capri is so mad at me because he has that for the Fantasy Critic League, and I didn't know that. And I don't take that into account when I'm reviewing games because I'm not biased. I don't think Twinfinite counts for very much on OpenCritic, so don't worry. Pick better games, Sean. Anyway.
Wow. That just right there,
anyway, Sean. I didn't know. Maybe people knew this. I didn't really get this from the trailers and stuff going into it. That you know how you can have customizable items and hairstyles and clothes and like tennis rackets and things like that. You don't unlock any of those offline. You need to have the online membership, playing online matches in order to unlock anything. So here I was playing single player offline over and over and over. I was playing local multiplayer offline over and over and over, and I was not unlocking anything. And I'm like, what the heck? And at first, online was locked. Like you couldn't play that for like the first week or whatever of having the review game. So I couldn't access that at all. And I think mine unlocked like a little bit before it was supposed to. The day before, like the night before the review embargo was up, it was Tuesday night. I like went in and tried it again, and it said that I had an update, like a software update. So
cool.
I updated and then I tried online and it worked, and it matched me with a bunch of NPCs because obviously like the game isn't out yet. Like I guess it just populates with bots if you can't find anybody. And the way that it works, I know a lot of people had questions about how the customization works, is you play games online and depending on how you get points for like just doing it. And then like if you win, you get like some bonus points. If you like do really well, like when I was bowling and I got like 2 strikes in a row or something, I got like a bonus for that. You get points, and then like it goes up to 100. Every time you get 100 points, it unlocks a random item in the set that's currently available. So it looks like every like 20 days or something, there's a new set of items that you can like kind of unlock. So like it's not really like you get points and then you can spend them on items. Every 100 points you get a random item. So it's a little annoying. The way
like
that
a slot machine in a way.
Yeah.
Unless you play like, all the way and you get all the items. How many items
mechanics, are there? I guess a little bit. There's like maybe I want to say like 15 or so in the set, and you have like 20 days to get them all. And then I think like if you get them all, you get like some bonus items or whatever. But like as for the game itself, it's fun. The motion controls work really well. I got pretty bored playing by myself, honestly. I am very glad that I took it to PAX and had actual people to play with, like in person, because it is way more fun with friends, obviously. Like, I feel like it's a really good, like, drunk party game. if you're playing like with people around you. I don't think I
And
would
you
really
just
recommend
whack
this
the tennis ball
for
or
anyone.
something like that with the
Yeah,
Joy-Cons
yeah, it was funny. It was like giggly and stuff. No, you don't get doubles. Somebody asked, Pixelated Soul in chat asked, do you get doubles of like the items? I guess he's asking. It's a random item until they're all unlocked. Yes, you don't unlock doubles. If you unlock an item, I believe you get it for every character, like for every profile that you have. I'm pretty sure. I'll go through like each of the sports, I guess, and like what I thought just very briefly. I think volleyball is definitely the most fun, at least like by myself. It has the most, I guess, mechanics as far as like with tennis, like you're just hitting it. There's
You're just
not really
literally
much
hitting
to
it.
it.
Like,
There's not much
come on
strategy
now.
involved. Volleyball, though, like you have different types of hits. So you hold one Joy-Con and like you can do a bump, you can do a set, you can jump and do a spike, you can block, and then like you can have kind of vague movements like back and forth if you want to like line yourself up a little bit better. So that was probably the most fun. Though even on the highest difficulty, like it tells you what kind of move to prepare next. Like if it says, okay, like get ready to do a bump, it's like, okay, here's the bump.
Okay, fine. I'll prep that too.
There's 3 difficulties offline. One of them is like, I've never touched a video game before. Please don't let the other team score a single point. The middle difficulty is like easy for people who are probably listening to this podcast because you play video games on a regular basis. And then the hardest difficulty is like, it's the only one that I actually really had to try on. It's a little bit harder, but it's not like brutal.
Okay.
Yeah, so volleyball was the most fun. Bowling is pretty easy. I liked there's 2 modes. There's classic mode and then there's obstacle mode, which like it sets up little hazards, like it might have like a little barrier.
Oh, that's nice.
Or you might have like a really narrow like lane to go through and there's like holes in it that you have to avoid. That one's pretty cool. I like that. This soccer is also the most fun. I would say those 3 are the most fun. The volleyball, bowling, and soccer. With soccer, it's basically Rocket League, but without cars. Like you're just running. Like you have free range. Like your character has free range around the whole field. You can either do 1 versus 1 or 4 versus 4 players. And they'll like populate with NPCs if you don't have anybody else. And that was just kind of silly. Like the way that they run is a little bit quirky. Like I would feel like the running in the soccer is the most like quirky and charming part of the whole game, just because it looks a little bit ridiculous.
Cool.
Power throws in bowling, no.
Is there a spin in bowling? Right?
Yeah. So if you like bullet, and it's not like, I was a little bit thrown off because I remember, or maybe I'm misremembering this, but in Wii Sports, you had to like hold the trigger down like as you're going back and then let go of it. You don't let go of it at a time. You like just continuously hold on to the trigger like the whole time. And then you can, like,
interesting.
Tilt it for it to curve or spin.
You can tilt it during the ball, like on the ground.
Yeah, but it's like very slight, like as you're like releasing it, and like so like it's not gonna like curve a lot. It's just gonna like tilt it that way.
Oh, okay, sounds good. And the soccer is 3rd-person perspective, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
sounds good.
You can pass it, like you can hold a button if you want to pass it to like a certain player. You like use the Joy-Con to like do different kicks. Like you can kick up, you can kick like straight forward, you can kick to the sides, and then like there's one, you hold on to 2 Joy-Cons when you're playing, and if you, I forget what the move is, but there's a move where you can like kind of dive into it, and it's like you take a couple seconds to recover, but like it hits the ball really, really hard.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, soccer was fun.
Is it pass and a kick? Like you press a button to pass, or is it like,
if you're trying to pass to like a specific player, like I guess it'll kind of lock onto them a little bit more, like it'll aim towards them. Yeah.
Cool.
Badminton sucks. I got bored. I played it like twice. I didn't like it. It was stupid. It's basically just tennis, but like more
doing
boring.
this instead of that.
Yeah.
A little pop, of the badminton.
Yeah, there's nothing interesting about badminton. I don't know why they included it. Tennis, I just like tennis. I think it's better than Mario Aces, but there's like nothing special
It's
about it.
better than Mario Aces.
I don't know. I just don't like Mario Aces. There's nothing special about it. Like, I don't know.
Okay.
It's just simple tennis, and I prefer that. There's a very distinct lack of charm in this game. Like, I feel like Wii Sports had the charm of like you're bowling and then like you release it and it flies behind you and then all the bees like jump up
and
all
everyone's
surprised.
Like, woo!
Yeah. There's nothing like that. I remember in baseball, which doesn't exist in this game, they would just like the Miis, they didn't have legs and they would just like hop around the bases.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing cute in this game that's like that.
It's just very generic. Like,
yeah, it's you
they have legs.
Not know that this is a Nintendo game if it didn't have a Nintendo
branding
on it. Like, you really wouldn't at all. There's nothing Nintendo about this. The Nintendo charm is not there. And it plays well. It plays well.
Oh, that's good. And it's $40, right? Digitally.
Yes. Digitally. I was sent one of the what do you call it?
Leg strap things?
Leg strap. Yeah. If you have Ring Fit, it's the same exact one as a Ring Fit. The only mode that you can use that in right now is is the soccer shootout. So I tried that.
Oh, you physically kick.
Yeah, you physically kick. But in the summer, I read that they're adding the leg strap controls to the regular soccer modes. I don't really know how that's going to work.
They should, because in Ring Fit, well, you can.
I guess you're running in place, right?
Yeah, you run in place in Ring Fit, and then you actually like go on a course on rails.
Oh,
so I'm wondering, depending on how fast you move your legs, you can go quicker or slower in soccer as well. So that would be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Get you a workout, definitely.
Yeah. I wouldn't personally, I wouldn't go out of my way to get the leg strap for this game. Like, you definitely don't need it. I feel like $10 more is really a lot for what
it's like, come on, guys. Like, literally a piece of plastic that's just going around your leg with Velcro.
You can, you could probably manufacture you can make this. You can take some rubber bands or something and manufacture this. You can
literally strap this and tape. I don't know, do some sort of adhesive with a plastic ring.
So unless you're a hardcore physical collector, don't spend that extra $10 if you're getting this game. Yeah, the price is right, I guess, $40. I don't know. I mean, there's better exercise games on Switch. There's better party games on Switch. Wii Sports Resort in 2009 had double the number of games that you could play.
Yeah.
So unless they're adding a lot, I know they're adding golf in summer, and I think it'll be good. I think each of the games here are good. I just got bored playing in single player. I don't really think that I'll pick this up again unless I have friends who are buying it who really want to play it with me one weekend. But I don't know. I don't want to knock people who are excited about this. I just think it's a very specific audience.
Yeah, I think it's really for the people that have other people around in their household and they just want to have some sort of party game together. There's one way to go about it. Is it I don't know if you know this. Is it split screen 2 to 4 player, or how does that work?
Yeah,
for
so
each of the games?
It depends on each of the games. So that Shambara sword fighting one, you can only have up to 2 players at a time, and it does do split screen, I think. I forget. Yeah. And then soccer is up to 4 players. That one does split screen. I don't think tennis does split screen. I think you're just back there.
Yeah. Well, tennis I remember
is up to 4 players.
Tennis up to 4 players. I remember the tennis and Wii Sports. Did they do split screen? I think it was just one screen.
I don't think. I think it's just.
Okay,
yeah,
sounds good.
Don't need it. Badminton is only 2 players.
Yeah, it's really for the the people that are really interested in this kind of sports mentality and wants to have that motion control and has other people around that really want to do that as well. It sounds like that would be a good game to go. Another party game to add to your arsenal, along with Mario Party, with Mario Kart and other things. The Clubhouse 51 games, that kind of genre. So,
I will say
this is another one of those.
When I played it at PAX with friends, we played it for about an hour, switching back and forth, playing, some of the games, and then we switched to Mario Kart. So yeah, I would say to add to party games that you already have.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. It's definitely not down my alley. I probably won't ever get it. But yeah, I kind of expected this, to be honest with you. When I was seeing the trailer, I'm like, oh, okay, they're doing Wii Sports in a priced manner, and it's a fewer games, and it doesn't look as
it really wish,
I
feel like this would be a lot better if they had gone all out and done 12 games. They should have had all the ones that were in Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort. They should have had baseball. They should have had boxing. Those are the two missing from the first game. And then I didn't play Wii Sports Resort, but it looked like there were some really cool things in there, like archery and stuff that they really could have added. And
archery, billiards is super fun too.
Yeah.
Literally, I remember doing and then let go of the trigger during the pull, and that was super fun actually. So
yeah, I think that would have extended the longevity of it for me. I felt like after an hour or two of playing it, I was like, okay, what else can I do here to prepare to write this review? I've maxed out everything I can do in the game by myself.
So, wow.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That another one of those types of games now out on Switch, $40.
It looks pretty.
Yeah.
The characters, everyone's knocking on the characters. I kind of think they're better than the Mii's. I think they're cool looking. I wish I could.
Do you create your own character too, right?
Yeah, there's not a lot of options. There's way more options for Mii's. So if you really wanted to look like you should use the Mii. I wish I could say more about the customization items, but I've only unlocked 2 or 3 things so far because they just added the online.
Let me tell you, if they add some Nintendo stuff in those items,
they should,
people will go for them.
They really should. Yeah,
people will really go for them and play this more.
We have a couple questions about the game. Adam wants to know, what other sports would you want added to Switch Sports? He says, personally, I hope they add archery and boxing. I am a sucker for baseball. I would love if they had included the baseball from the original.
That was fun. I remember playing baseball a lot from Wii Sports. Billiards is another big one. And I can't wait for... Actually, I'm interested in what the golf really is like.
I hope it's good.
Yeah. See if it's better than Mario Golf or something. We'll see how that goes. That would be definitely one to keep an eye on. Is that?
Yeah.
Is
I'm probably weird. I prefer, both in real life and in video games, mini golf as opposed to regular golf. I don't know if there was a mini golf in Wii Sports Resort, but I would totally play a mini golf Wii Sports.
I love mini golf in real life. Real golf, I can't.
Me neither.
No.
Me neither.
I've done was that not disc golf. What's the one that you hit into a range and there's a target area? Oh man, I can't believe I'm missing the name. Top Golf. That's it.
Yeah, I've done Top Golf. Top Golf is cool.
I
like
super
that.
Fun.
Kyle the Pug wants to know, do you think Nintendo Switch Sports would have been more hyped up if it was released on the Nintendo Switch's launch day in 2017? Yes. I do think they should have put this on the Switch either as a pack-in or not. I don't care. It should be a pack-in. I will always advocate for pack-ins instead of 1-2 Switch.
Yeah, 1-2 Switch wasn't that full price? Just if I remember correctly. Okay.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, this should have been a pack-in. I mean, I'm not entitled to say that, hey, Nintendo Switch Sports needs to be a pack-in for Switch. But it would have been a great addition. I could see this actually going into the Plus expansion pack route, not putting all sports in, but have like a light version of Nintendo Switch Sports into the service. Like, hey, here's what the game could be for you. Here's a couple of games that's in the expansion pack route. And then it's like, if you want the rest of the game, it's on sale for like $30 or buy the full game. Yeah. I could see that.
The other thing that I should mention, and this maybe is obvious to some people, but like I did see some people saying that they weren't sure. It is a Joy-Con only game. There's no Pro Controller support. You cannot play in handheld. If you have a Switch Lite, you need to have Joy-Con.
Wow. Okay. No, I actually then I take. Well, I'm not sure if I would do a packing game with that then. If it's just Joy-Con only. Yeah. Okay. We'll
Maybe
just leave
for
it
the original
how it is.
Switch, like definitely it wouldn't be a pack-in for the Switch Lite. Like that would be stupid.
That'd be super weird, yeah.
If it was like launch day, like I feel like, and I don't really recall there being any good like HD rumble in this game or anything, but if they did put like some cool HD rumble in it and released it on launch day with the Switch, I think it could have been a much cooler tech demo than 1-2 Switch, because I feel like this is 1-2 Switch really like a good party game? Like I know a lot of people bought it because it was one of the only things, but like when you have people come over to your house, like what are you more likely to break out? Like a Wii Sports type of game, or like milking the cows, rolling the marbles? Rough. Like how do you sell that to non-gamer friends? But if you sell like, hey, want to play like the new Wii Sports, like will get people's attention.
Or just like, hey, they got a pack-in game. They have tennis, they have bowling, they have like
stuff that people know how to play. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I remember playing 1-2 Switch. I never bought it, but I remember playing that thing, and I'm like,
same. I like rented it just to see.
I had to learn each mini game and what they do, and once you play, it's like, oh, that's cool, but I'm not.
How do you sell your friends on that?
Exactly. Yeah, unless you're actually playing it like right then and there with the Joy-Con in hand. So yeah, it would have been nice to see this as a packing game, but I'm not gonna say that it should have been. It would have been nice though.
I do think there would have been a lot more hype though if it had released on launch day.
Yeah, especially like $40, especially in the beginning. Yeah. That would have been pretty good.
I think most people would have bought it. I don't think most Switch owners are going to buy this. I think a lot will, just because of what it is. But yeah.
There would be more hype in the beginning, but I think now Switch has such a huge user base. I'm sure it'll have more
party
sales
games.
Now. There's better party games. There's a lot of other party games now than this. Yeah.
I think if you're looking for a party game, you should get the new Mario Party. I think that's the best party game in the past 2 or 3 years for Nintendo.
Yeah. And then you always have Mario Kart.
And that's getting new DLC. That golden boy. Yeah. And then Donnie writes in, I know the things you said about my beloved Switch Sports.
You haven't even played it yet, Donnie.
Down as so many others are. So let me ask you this. Do you think I will like this game? How do you think it compares with, say, Wii Sports Resort, both technically and gameplay, especially with the addition of online modes? I didn't play Wii Sports Resort, but I know it had a lot more offerings. And I will repeat myself, I do think it plays well. Like, I didn't have any problems with the motion controls. Like, I didn't, you know how you always had to fight with, like, the Wii remotes with getting it to, like, line up correctly? Never had to fight with the motion controls. It read all of my movements well. I do think it's fun with friends. Donnie, I think like you have kids who are willing to play this with you, and that's already an advantage that you have over me for this game. I think I don't know. I'm worried because all the games you've been excited for Nintendo in the past few years, you haven't liked. So I don't know.
That's what I was thinking too.
I want to say you'll like it, but like track record here, I don't know.
I just wouldn't. I'm sure Donnie has a good expectation of what this game is, and I wouldn't say, like as you said, Wii Sports Resort had the platter. It had everything there's some really good things in there. I just don't think you're going to get a very, very small portion of what you had in Wii Sports Resort. So I don't know. Switch Sports.
I agree with that. Like that
Yeah.
comparison to Wii Sports Resort. But I think, Donnie, if you're looking at this and you're like, this is, these 6 games and then golf coming, that's a good selection. These sports I can get excited about. And you're not looking for like the wider selection, but like you're happy with what you see, then you'll be happy with what you get.
Yeah.
I think if you're looking at this and you're like, there's only 6 sports, like, okay, like I hope they're going to add more than just golf. Like I hope that they're going to extend, the longevity of this. Like don't count on that. Like they might, but like don't buy it because you think it's going to be one of those kind of games.
Yeah, and as Rebecca said, half of them are enjoyable, half of them are like meh.
You're not going to play badminton. You're really not. Chambara, whatever it's called. Like, it's going to be cool the first couple times. You're going to have the most fun with bowling. You're going to have the most fun with soccer. I think volleyball is cool. I think tennis is cool.
There you go.
That's what you get.
$10 per enjoyable sports game. There you go. 4 of them.
Yeah.
Right there.
And the online is cool. Like, I think it will, like, I think part of it, I did get bored because it wasn't much of a challenge offline, but like, I think playing online a little bit more against like real people, I might be more inclined to pick it up. I don't know. But I think you need people to play with. That's like my final line. Like, if you don't have people to play with,
you're done.
Don't. Yeah, don't.
Yeah, don't buy it.
Spend your $40 on a single player game.
Well, I'm sure he's gonna buy it and then fiddle with it over the weekend. And then
I think you should.
If he's gonna sell it, he'll sell it out like really like right afterwards, and then maybe keep it for a few weeks. I don't know. Get the I would say the maximum enjoyment is like a few weeks, and then get it back during the summer when golf comes. I don't know.
I think the quality of golf will be good. And I think that the online, I hope, will be better than the N64 golf online. I don't know. I heard that the online connection is not bad.
Cool.
But I don't know.
Sounds good.
Mario Guy has a good question in chat. Why was Rebecca, who doesn't play many sports games, the person to review a sports game? This is going to sound weird. I know it's called Nintendo Switch Sports. I don't think of it as a sports game more than as like a Nintendo party game. Yes, it is sports, but it's not like, MLB The Show. It's not like FIFA. I don't think of this as like a hardcore sports game. I think of it as a party game.
It's not meant to be a sports game as those other. It's not supposed to be a Madden or a FIFA. It is, as you said,
like,
this is a party game.
There's no strategy involved. There's no.
It's very service level.
Yeah. And like, I obviously there's other people who review Nintendo games besides me, but I do review a lot of their Nintendo games. I don't know what the interest was for this game. I put in interest. I don't know.
Cool. I think you're right though. It's meant for the people who are into Nintendo, who are into the Nintendo Switch, and then has a family, has other people that can play with. It's a family game. It is definitely a family game more than, let's say, MLB The Show or NBA 2K22 or something like that.
And like, maybe that's why I prefer the tennis in this game rather than Mario Tennis Aces. Like, I don't want all of like, the strategy and the power-ups and like, the skill levels and things like that. This is like, you're hitting a ball back and forth and you're trying to like just score on your opponent with no bells and whistles. And I prefer that for tennis. Like, yeah. Seems like Madden. Yeah, exactly. And this is more of a party game. I agree with that. Which is silly to say. Like, I know that sounds ridiculous for a game called Switch Sports, but like, if you're looking for a hardcore sports game, this is not it at all.
There you go. Yeah. For sure.
I hope that's pretty encompassing for Nintendo Switch Sports. It does release tomorrow. If you have any questions that I didn't answer during this that you're not finding in reviews or playthroughs tomorrow or anything like that, just like reach out to me, tweet at me.
Can I play as Waluigi?
You cannot play as Waluigi.
Come on.
There's no characters in this game.
They're cutting my boy out in every single sports game. How dare they?
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Do that.
In other Nintendo news from this week, it is still delay season, but movie edition this time. The Mario movie. Isn't it actually just called the Mario movie? Does it have another title besides that?
It doesn't have a title.
Is it going to have another title besides that, or is it just called Mario
I hope
movie?
So. I hope it's not called Mario movie.
Because I haven't heard any other title.
Yeah, no. I hope it's not that. I haven't heard any other title either, especially from Miyamoto himself. He didn't even say any title, so.
Okay, well, the Mario movie, Project Mario movie, is delayed.
Mario movie.
It's delayed to April 2023, next year. This message was delivered from Miyamoto himself, tweeting out on all of the Nintendo Twitter channels. The movie was originally set to debut on December 21st of this year, but now it will release on April 7th, 2023 in North America, later in April for Japan. I think this makes sense because, for one, we have seen nothing, and also for two, apparently it was supposed to release the same week as Avatar 2, and that probably is not wise to release. Yeah, it's probably not wise to release your movie that week.
Yeah, I mean, movie delays is... I haven't heard too much of movie delays before, but I'm totally fine waiting just 4 months. Right, not even 4 months, like 3.5 months for this Mario movie. I think we both know the most interesting tidbit or fact out of this story is that Shigeru Miyamoto had to message this on the Nintendo Twitter. I was going ballistic.
He literally started it. This is Miyamoto. Just so we know it's coming from him.
Hi, this is Shigeru Miyamoto. I'm like, okay, is this a troll?
He didn't even say hi. I know. I got that notification. I'm like, did someone hack Nintendo of America?
That's what I was thinking too. And then I was reading, I'm like, oh, well, like after the first sentence, like, this is Miyamoto, and then I checked the Twitter account. It's like, okay, no, that's the verified one. And I'm like, I was getting scared. I'm like, did someone pass away, or did like a game get eliminated? Like, that's the thoughts were rushing my head. And it was like, we regret to inform you that the Mario movie. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it was very serious. There was like no image attached. It was just like, yo, this is Miyamoto. This movie's delayed. Please understand.
Okay, sounds good. I mean, I think we're more understanding of a movie than a video game, just because we're gamers and we don't like movies. Are cool.
Does not affect me at all. Like, it's a movie.
Yeah. And I feel like this is more of like, it's a kids movie. It's an elimination project. I mean, you can tweet it out on the Twitter and be fine of serving that hardcore Nintendo audience, and I'm sure a lot of Nintendo audience is going to watch this movie, but it's not going to be...
I don't think many people are devastated about this.
Yeah, it's not going to be the main portion of their sales.
Especially since we haven't seen any of the movie. It's not like, oh my god, I need to get my hands on this movie. I need to watch it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I thought that was funny. Yeah. Cool. I'll wait till April.
Do you remember we talked about, do we think there's going to be a Mario game released like alongside the movie? If there is, does that come out later this year? Does it get delayed? Does that not exist at all?
Honestly, at this point, if I see this delay, it's not because of a game. Mario is its own thing. Just like how Sonic is. Sonic, I mean, puts out movie. Like, they just put Sonic, like the Hedgehog 2, right? Like, recently. They don't have a game to go with that. And I would think that franchise would be more willing to do that to push the sales compared to Mario. Mario is Mario. Like, everyone knows Mario. It doesn't matter if the game and movie comes out simultaneously or not. It's just going to sell. So, no, I don't think it's because of the game.
Jules wants to know, do you think that Toads will be the minions of the Mario movie.
God, I hope so, Jules. I just want to hear screaming, high-pitched Toads all around Mario. I want Mario to kick one of them too, like a soccer ball.
Oh, I would love it if one got kicked.
I could just see Toads just bouncing around in a room, just like constantly in that illumination animation. It would be hilarious. I would be laughing like crazy.
I don't know if they'll be just like minions where there's a lot of them, but I do think there will be at least one Toad who will serve like a comedic type of purpose.
Very comedic, and I just want to see that little mushroom head just bounce around surfaces. That's all I care about. I don't know why. I can just see that animation. I can imagine multiple Toads though, like the minions, like just different colors. Like
it's very easy to imagine that.
At least 5. I'm thinking 5 different colors, and then you got the Toadette versions too. So you can have 10 right there.
Oh boy. Okay.
It's gonna be great.
I'm sure. I don't know that I'm gonna go see this movie, Toads or not. Like, do I really need to see a Mario movie?
I'm just interested to hear. Was it Chris Pratt voicing Mario?
Chris Pratt.
I just want to hear his voice.
You'll be able to hear that in the trailer. You don't need to go see the movie to hear that.
I know. I'm interested in what kind of voice it's gonna be, because I heard mentions of an Italian accent, like this Italian New York Brooklyn accent. I'm like, I don't know. It's a me, Mario. I'm just no. That's too weird. That's a little too weird for me. I'm sure it's gonna be hilarious. I love the Minions. I love Illumination. They're a great movie studio. So I'll be interested to see how this movie turns out for sure.
I don't really go to see movies. I haven't been in a theater since before the pandemic.
Me too.
So if I do see this, I'm not going to rush out to the theater to see it. I will wait for other options, cheaper options.
Yeah, hopefully it just comes. I just wish
tickets are expensive.
Most movies just, hey, we're done with the movie screening after like 2 months. It's straight to a service, like a movie, like any kind of online service. I don't care. Put it on HBO, put it on Netflix. I don't care. Just put it on there, please.
What are Illumination movies typically on? Netflix?
They're not on anything. At least last I checked. Entertainment, movies, right? Well, let me look up like Minions movie, and let me see if there's any of them in service right now. I mean, it's rent on most things.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I can't stream it anywhere. Like,
I don't think so. Yeah, I never seen it on a service really. So. Oh, okay, so XBS says it would be Peacock, that's what Universal owns Illumination.
Oh, isn't that like a Comcast thing, Peacock?
Peacock is the Universal Studios. So Universal owns, NBC, all their shows. So if you want to watch, like, let's say The Office or something like that,
I think I have
Peacock.
That. I think we have that with Comcast.
Oh, there you go. You can get that. But other than that, I don't see any of their movies. Inside Out so some of them are in collaboration with Disney. Oh, sorry. That's the search engine being stupid.
Oh,
Bing
Comcast
is stupid,
owns Universal? Why are you using Bing?
Because I get rewards. I get Microsoft rewards from Bing, okay? I'm using Microsoft
Edge giving you false information.
But come on, I just got like a $15 like gift card from Xbox because of my searching and playing Game Pass
Bing
games.
rewards?
They get you. Yeah. Well, the Bing is connected to my Microsoft account, which gives me the Microsoft rewards.
Oh, okay.
See, we're all just owned by companies, guys. NBC, Comcast, you got the Microsoft going. Everything's just gonna take over everything.
For real. Anyway, if anyone's devastated about the Mario movie delay, let me know.
Don't let me know.
Crickets.
I'm good.
Something that was announced that I thought was cool, and this is me being a sellout for a company, Disney Dreamlight Valley was announced. Gameloft is a mobile developer founded by one of Ubisoft's co-founders, has unveiled an upcoming collaboration with Disney. It's a cross between a life sim and an adventure game where you interact with Disney and Pixar characters to uncover their memories and restore life to an idyllic village. It's going to be free to play. And you can design Disney and Pixar-inspired outfits with a huge range of customization and explore areas inspired by films like Moana, Frozen, The Lion King, so on and so forth. So this summer, it will be available early access for players who purchase a Founders Pack or have Xbox Game Pass membership. It will be free to play and launch in 2023, also on Switch. I am here for this because it's free to play, and that means I don't have to give Disney any money, and I can enjoy all the worlds that I love. And I love like little cute little sims like this, and it sounds like it's gonna be cute and fun, and it's like totally the name is ripping off of Stardew Valley. Dreamlight Valley, duh, it's like the same thing. Oh, free to play is definitely a red flag. There's definitely going to be like pay mechanics in this. I will not put a dime into it.
Well, we'll see how that goes. I never even knew this was happening until I saw it in the notes, and cool.
You should look up the trailer.
Really? Is it does it look great? Like,
it looks cute.
Okay,
it looks very cute.
So it's a life sim and adventure game.
It's like it's like I'm trying
it's
to
like
think what
fantasy
to
life.
to.
It's like
maybe
Harvest
something
Moon.
like that.
I wouldn't say like with the farming stuff, but like you just
I don't
like,
think there's farming, but otherwise it's like Stardew Valley.
Yeah, you're like going on adventures with Disney and Pixar characters, and
but it's also like simulation. Like you can like you're designing your own character, you can like change things in the village. Like you can, I think, decorate.
Is it online? All online too, or is it just
I don't know if there's online. There might be.
Sounds like a club. Sounds like a Club Penguin.
I'm sorry. There's potential farming in the trailer.
Potential farming in the trailer. Okay, sounds good.
It has Stitch from Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, nice! I love Stitch. You know what other franchise that has a bunch of Disney characters you can mess around and interact with right on the Nintendo Switch?
Kingdom Hearts Cloud version.
That's the Kingdom Hearts Cloud version. The fantastic series now in cloud form.
Oh
on the Switch.
I'm gonna not play that.
I mean, like, it's free to play, so why not download it and put it on your Switch? And if you're into Disney and Pixar characters, yeah, go for it. I mean, this is like a perfect thing for kids too, just to like mess with the characters in there, and of course, Disney is gonna find the whales for this game.
Yes. Remember we were talking about how Disney should tap into Animal Crossing and like put in I think this was Donnie's idea, saying like put in sets of like clothes and items and stuff based on Disney franchises, and they could have made a butt ton of money doing that. They probably heard Donnie say that on the podcast and said, screw that, we're making our own Animal Crossing game and we're just going to make it Disney related.
And it's going to get a lot of people. And of course, they went through the book. Free to play. It's going to have the gacha mechanics, and we're going to have all the Disney characters. I do think that's a better
model for this type of game than charging money, like, off the bat.
I agree. And as you said, like, you can just play it for free if you want. And I think most of their player base will play it for free, but they will have that few select percentage to be the money whales for sure.
Edgardo said he found from their website offline play is supported, so it's not like an online only type of game.
Got it. Sounds good.
I think it looks cute. I'm gonna try it. I'm not gonna
I'll watch
2023 when this comes out and I'm podcasting and talking about it. You will ask, how much money did you spend on it so far? And I will say $0.
Put a pin on that.
Clip it.
Speaking
of free-to-play games that people pour a lot of money into, Pokemon Unite wants more of your money. They just introduced an in-game subscription service. The game recently surpassed 70 million downloads, and this new subscription service, they're calling it Pokemon Unite Membership. Creative. It gives players monthly rewards and bonuses. It's going to cost about $9 a month. The pricing came out for Japan. It comes out to about $9, and
oh my goodness,
American pricing hasn't come out yet. $9 per month seems like a lot to me. That's more expensive than Nintendo Switch Online costs per month.
What do you get out of that? That's my question.
Mostly cosmetic items, and then I think you get like bonuses of their in-game currency.
That's interesting. I'm wondering, like, why do it now versus earlier? Maybe they were trying to understand how their freemium. I'm sure they were trying to understand their audience. Like, okay, how are they playing into like paying for cosmetics and rewards and stuff, and so they figure out the best way to do it. $9 a month, you can say that's expensive. I can say that's expensive, but to a player that regularly plays Unite, that always buys the cosmetic stuff every month, to that player, they're gonna be like,
it could be an investment.
Really? I can have $9 for just all of this, not pay like 20 or 30 bucks that I normally do during the month. Like, there are people like that. And
that's true. And I feel like if you play hours of this each day, like maybe if this is like a daily pickup game for you, maybe it's worth it to do that. I don't know. Cosmetics. You do you.
And that's just reoccurring revenue for Pokemon Unite. Of course, they want that type of reoccurring service. They want that type of continuous cash flow. $9 a month, sure. If people are into it, go for it. And I guess there's like really no change to the game. It's just, here's a membership, like a lot of freemium games do as well. Like, Fallout 76 did that. Lots of other free-ish games do that. Elder Scrolls, MMOs do that. Like, here's, get a membership and you get these extra perks. Like, this is kind of just, it kind of makes sense.
Kirby turns 30 years old this week. Kirby's Dream Land for the Game Boy released in Japan on April 27th, 1992. Happy birthday, Kirby.
Happy birthday. 30
do you
years.
Have any Kirby memories or stories to share?
That's older than me. Jeez. Canvas Curse. That's like the one Kirby game I did play. I still need to play the latest one. It sounds super fun. The Canvas Curse one was on DS, and you use the stylus to kind of direct Kirby as a ball. And it was super fun, actually, playing that when I was young. Kirby in Super Smash Brothers. Let me tell you, that is a really golden character. Like, Kirby is a very fun character to play as. Super simple to play because there's a lot of wacky moves set that Kirby has. I've learned Kirby from the original Super Smash Brothers. I didn't know Kirby was the thing beforehand.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, playing the original Smash Brothers, I learned Samus, I learned Kirby, I learned Ness.
Okay, Samus and Ness make sense because I feel like were very cult following types of games at the time. Kirby, though, really?
Maybe, I don't know, like, I think it was really just Pokemon until Smash Brothers, and I'm like,
what was your first Smash game that you learned this from?
It was in 64. It was the original.
Oh, 64. Okay. So that's kind of fair then, because that was so far back then. That makes sense.
I was like 6 or 7 years old or something like that.
That's fair. You talk about Smash Brothers. I will never forget the chills that I got in that Smash Ultimate trailer, the Lifelight trailer, when all the characters are getting like literally like demolished and destroyed, and then you see Kirby flying on his little star trying to escape the stream of death that is following him, and he just like zooms and poofs out into the universe and lands in that new world or whatever. And just the chills that I got that he was able to evade this thing that nobody else could. He was the strongest, he was the most powerful. He is like, it's canon that he is the most powerful Nintendo character.
It's kind of crazy to see.
Or any character that's in the Smash universe, not just Nintendo character.
Yeah, that was kind of cool to see too. Kirby is very, very powerful and evaded that master hand.
Yes,
super cool.
Do you know why Kirby has his name?
Yeah, I read Console Wars, or I think it's one of the Nintendo books actually, of John Kirby, the man who was the lawyer for Nintendo for was it during the time where they had to defend Donkey Kong trademark against Universal Pictures?
It was something like that. If it wasn't that, it was something similar.
Yeah, Universal Pictures sued Nintendo for the trademark likeness of King Kong and Donkey Kong, where they had a huge overlap. Right. And I think John Kirby was the lead lawyer for that and successfully defended Nintendo from Universal, or reached a settlement.
Kirby. Now, I always, before I knew that story, I thought that he was named after like the Kirby vacuum because it like sucks up things. Is that just a coincidence?
I think not. I think they had some inspiration there. It's like Kirby, he can suck things because
so it's kind of like a double thing. He's named after the lawyer, but the Kirby vacuum also comes into play.
Well, when did the Kirby vacuum occur?
Now you've got me Googling Kirby vacuums. I'm gonna get like ads for him.
Heck yeah. Well, let's see here. Kirby vacuum. Oh, that's a real thing. Kirby of San Francisco appliances? No, that's not it. That's not what I want.
Well, it was founded as the Kirby Company in 1935.
Okay, so that's been a while. They could have.
Jim Kirby designed the first Kirby vacuums after World War One.
You heard it right here, folks. A history lesson for you.
Although the Kirby name was not used on a vacuum cleaner until the 1930s.
Okay. Well, yeah, could have had some inspiration from there.
So, did they come up with the name of the character Kirby before the concept?
I think
they must have.
I don't know.
Otherwise, that's a huge coincidence. Hold on. Now you got me looking up everything. Kirby the character.
It's definitely because of John Kirby.
Concept and creation. Kirby was created by Sakurai as the player character of the 1992 game Kirby's Dream Land. The character's design was intended to serve as a placeholder graphic for the game's original protagonist in early development, and thus was given a simplistic ball-like appearance. Sakurai switched to the placeholder design for the final character design when he believed that it served the character better. The character was known as Po during the development.
Yeah, Po.
Until the name Kirby was chosen from a draft list of potential names. Miyamoto stated that Kirby was chosen in honor of the American lawyer John Kirby, which you just talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing about a vacuum cleaner.
I think, when did the vacuum concept come into play, though? Was it in Dreamland? Or Dreamland was
so?
Okay.
There's no mention of the word vacuum on the Kirby Wikipedia page.
I
refuse to believe that's a coincidence. If someone has the knowledge, hit me up.
There you go. I can just remember just seeing a young developer just thinking of this character with just a glass of bourbon in his hand. Is like, what kind of power is this stupid pink blob gonna get? Kirby. And then looks at the corner, it's a Kirby vacuum, and he's like, oh, yeah, there we go. And then he chugs his bourbon and gets to town on creating this character.
I like that.
Now.
I like that.
There you go.
Do you want to take this last news story here?
Yeah, sure. So, I'm sure everyone knows that Persona has their 25th anniversary going on right now. There's been very hit or miss type of announcements. Some people enjoyed it, like the vinyls for Persona games. However, I'm waiting for some type of Switch Persona cross event news other than Strikers. It still hasn't happened yet, but they just, it's the end of the month. They promised something and they delivered. They announced their concert. It's Persona Super Live P Sound Wish 2022. They have been doing these concerts for a while. It's not like the first one. The last one was in 2019 before the pandemic. So this is the first time afterwards. It's coming in October 8th, 2022. And the reason why I wanted to mention this is because normally at these concerts is when they announce games. So for the past two concerts, they actually announced Persona Q2 and they announced Persona 5 Royal and Persona 5 Strikers. So I can see them announcing something in October. It could be Persona 6. It could be a Switch port. We'll see how that
Sorry
goes.
if you said this. Is this an in-person concert people can attend, or is it like a live streamed concert?
Well, I think it's live streamed as well, but it is an in-person concert in Japan. They normally go for like 4 days. And
what?
Yeah, no, the music is crazy in these concerts. And it's all the Persona music. And like it's the same band too that does all of it.
Wow.
And they go on hours on end.
Oh my
like
gosh.
3 or 4 days of Persona music. So it's a huge celebration there. But yeah,
I went to the Zelda live orchestrated concert way back when, the Symphony of the Goddess, and that was just so cool. Like listening to this video game music, like I could see for anyone who's a Persona fan just like adoring this kind of thing, because it's just such an experience to like hear this kind of music played live and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why there's Persona dancing games for 3, 4, and 5. It's because the music there, it's really cool. It's they have their unique spin to it. They do sing in English as well.
Oh, cool.
Other than Japanese, so it's an interesting take on it.
October 8th, though, you'd be waiting that long for a big announcement.
I mean, at least we have a date on something that could have an announcement. I think most likely it would be Persona 6. Because it's kind of time. It may not come to Switch. Now we have to wait till the next announcement for Persona 25th anniversary will be in June.
Okay. I remember weeks ago we talked about how there's a whole lineup of announcements coming this year for Persona's anniversary.
Yeah, there were 7 of them. They increased it to 9, and most of it's just been very, very tiny little things like Japanese exclusive merch. And I am not holding out.
Good announcement.
Just give me a freaking game on Switch.
That'll be the last one.
It's like, oh yeah, here's the Switch port. Atlas, man, let me tell you, they're burning money. They could have had so much on Switch, especially Persona 4 Golden. But yeah,
I know it makes you wonder, but I'm sure there's somebody there who's like crunching the numbers and deciding whether it's worth it or not. But
no, because Atlas doesn't make sense at all. They put Soul Hackers 2, the sequel to Soul Hackers 1, not on Switch, but on other platforms. Soul Hackers 1 was on 3DS. And then they have these, spin-off games on Switch. They don't have the mainline games on Switch. I don't know. They just go all around with and then Shin Megami Tensei is a Switch exclusive. Like,
yeah, that's true.
What are you?
Yeah,
what are you
never thought about that. I
They
don't
like
know.
mix all around. But anyways, that's pretty much it.
XBS says Persona mouthwash was just released. Was that one of their big?
I can believe that. Actually, yeah, Persona mouthwash did get advertised in Japan. Yeah, that's an actual thing. They go everywhere with the merch over there. And we just get like the breadcrumbs, literally the breadcrumbs here in the Twitter. Like I know which Twitter accounts to go to, and they even have a hard time. They have to translate stuff from Japan. And so it's like, this is what Japan's getting, I guess, with Persona. It's like,
I don't think you're missing out if it's just mouthwash.
You're right. It's hilarious. But
all right, let's wrap up by going to this week's chat questions directly from you. G-Man wants to know if Star Fox could get revived, how could Nintendo do it and why? And I know we've had this question before, but I included it because I had a new idea when I saw this question.
Okay.
Star Fox 99.
99. Wait. Oh, okay. So run that through me. How would that work? I'm curious.
So it would be like the original Star Fox or Star Fox 64. I don't know. Take your pick. You're on rails. You have all of the stuff that comes flying at you.
The ships that come at you. Yeah.
The ships that are coming at you, the meteors, whatnot, what have you. And you got to shoot stuff down, and maybe like certain things that you're shooting, it gets sent to the other players, and it makes it harder for them, and they can, do shoot, things that are going to attack you back, and then the last person standing wins.
Okay. Yeah, an unending course rail game. It doesn't have to be 99. It could be like called anything, but I see what you're getting at. And then I think there's always power-ups when you defeat these ships, and then if you grab these ships, they could target other players that are on the field. And it could be just an endless run. I like this, actually. I
think that Star Fox should stay on rails. I think that works on rails. And I kind of think, when I think of Star Fox, I know it has undergone lots of, not changes, but they've experimented in lots of different, I guess, types of games for Star Fox, for better or for worse. And I think of it as an arcadey type game. I just think of Star Fox 64 and Super Nintendo. When I think of Star Fox, those are the ones that stand out to me. And I could just totally see that as a battle royale type game where it's the last one standing. If it's just a never ending, more and more stuff starts flying at you that you got to dodge and shoot and send stuff to the other players.
Sounds good. I would totally play that. For sure. I would play that way more than Tetris or Pac-Man or Mario 99 combined. To be honest with you, I would play. I want to piggyback off of that. I think I'm not sure Nintendo would do this, but maybe some sort of Nintendo Online Star Fox game where you are facing against other players in a Star Fox fashion. Maybe like a battle, not necessarily battle royale. I'm thinking team-based battles, like Splatoon, because that was super fun in Star Fox 64. I remember playing with my friends so much of the split screen Star Fox head-to-head combat. I remember in the Star Fox 64, there was you're going against Wolf and their team, and there's a huge just round area. I can imagine something like that is just players versus players and just going at it. I think what Nintendo would really do is just a remake, not of Star Fox Zero, but Star Fox 64. I wouldn't call it Star Fox 64. I would call it Star Fox Switch or something like that, very generic. But I would really like to see course to course, different paths, get to the end. There's Andros. I want that game again because it's been so long since we've had that type of game, and Nintendo could really nail it. And I think we're due for an on-rails type of shooter, and Star Fox would do it. I would I would totally play that. I would buy $60.
They could make it look beautiful too if they really wanted to. Very, very beautiful.
Yeah.
I like the on rails concept too. I know a lot of people are like, well, what if you could, move around freely anywhere and it's a fully 3D space? I like the on rails. I don't know if that's like an unpopular opinion or not, but like I think then you could just kind of focus on what you need to do instead of where to go. And I like that.
Yeah. For sure.
Like
and
Star
especially
Fox.
with Star Fox is definitely more a directed game. I of course I have my dream Star Fox game as a Ubisoft game, but I don't think Nintendo would make a game like that. I don't, because you would need a massive developer base to really pull that off very well. So,
and who's investing that much time, money, effort into Star Fox, which historically isn't really a huge seller?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I just pray Star Fox comes back in some
It'll
fashion.
come back. It'll come back. It's not, I feel like it's one of their like B, maybe C tier franchises nowadays. Like it's not so far down as like Advance Wars, which has revived. Like it'll get a game. It's like WarioWare. It'll get a game.
Yeah, G the Man said, Garrett, we got a remake of Star Fox 64 on 3DS. It hurts my hand like no other.
He's not wrong.
I cannot play that game on 3DS. It's just, I don't know. Like it runs well. It's just, it cramps my hand so much on that 3DS. My 3DS is my RPG machine, my turn-based machine, not my action-based game machine. So, yeah.
Is it the 25th anniversary of Star Fox? Oh, of Star Fox 64. Okay. G-Man said it.
Oh, okay. Cool.
GhostDays99 says, if Nintendo had their own version of trophies or achievements, what do you think it should be called? I thought of this ahead of time, and I came up with 3 ideas to pitch to you, Garrett.
Whoa. All right. Sounds good.
Okay, hear me out. Switchachievements.
Switchachievements?
You got to rate each one of them. You got to process that.
I had a process. That was a little delay. I'm sorry. Switchachievements. Okay. Let's just mash words. I love it.
Rate it out of 10.
I'll put a 2, but like justify it. Like, why Switchachievements?
Switchachievements.
See, it just hurts when you every time you say it too.
Okay.
I'll put
You're not gonna like this next one if you didn't like this one. Nintendo trophies.
No. I can't. You're like hurting my head every time. Okay,
is that better or worse than Switchachievements?
These are both equally bad.
You're gonna like the last one.
Okay.
I promise. Okay, hear me out. Metal Marios, but a D in metals instead of T.
I didn't know we were making like serious puns here. Like, Metal Marios, I would give it at least another point higher than this other pun stuff that's going on. All right, Metal Marios.
Metal Marios. You get medals.
Oh,
Metal Marios.
This really messes with my head.
Y'all are just jealous of my creativity.
Y'all? Oh, wow. Okay.
And this is why I am not hired by Nintendo. This
is some next level stuff. Switchachievements, Nintendo trophies, and Metal Marios. My vote is the Metal Mario.
Yeah.
I would definitely love to see a bronze, silver, gold Metal Mario pop out in the side screen.
And I like that. See, it's a good idea. It's a good idea.
It's multi-million-dollar idea for Nintendo. Let me tell you. Okay.
Do you have any better ideas, Garrett, or shall we move on?
Guys, just make it simple. Make it a Mario star. Like I don't know what to call it. Just stars, and then like you'll have different like kind of just. Well, like you could just do the Mario thing. You could just do a mushroom and like a flower, fire flower, and then a star, and there you go. I'm sorry,
Okay.
I'm generic and boring. I would.
It's not a Metal Mario, but we could do that too.
The Metal Mario will be like the platinum trophy. It will be like,
Okay.
you've done everything in this game. You get the Metal Mario, and then the rest will be Switch achievements. We'll just
cool.
We'll go with that. Let me tell you, I think I've been wishing for trophies and achievements for the longest time, and at this point, you're not getting it. It will never happen in Nintendo Universe, and I'm sorry. I wish it happened though. In RetroArch, I recently learned that they actually plug in for another achievement website, and so you can actually physically put in achievements into classic Nintendo games on RetroArch if
Did not
you
know that.
so desire to do that. Yeah,
cool.
I'll do that when I get my Steam Deck.
See, look, G-Man's already on board. He says, guys, look, I got a Metal Mario. It's perfect. Perfect.
Ooh,
thank you, G-Man.
You get the Metal Mario amiibo if you get 5 Metal Marios in 5 different Switch games.
Perfect.
I love it.
Moving on, because nobody likes my idea. Docket Good wants to know, I loved Life is Strange 3. True Colors, I think he's referring to. Do you recommend I go back and play 1 and 2? Would you say they are good or better? I love Life is Strange. I don't know whether the first game or True Colors would be my favorite. I think that True Colors is probably the best game of all of them, but I feel like I really identify with a lot of things in 1 the best. I think 2 is a very good game. I know we've talked about this a lot. I had a harder time relating to the two brothers concept, but I know that other people who don't have siblings really enjoyed that one. So I don't know if that's just like a me thing. I would definitely, if you liked True Colors, I would definitely say pick whichever one looks more interesting to you, the first one or the second one, and play it. It's the same type of game, really focused on the characters, focused on those choices matter type of scenarios. But the power in the first one is way cooler than in 2 or 3.
Cool. Yeah. I love Life is Strange as well. I've played 1, 2, and 3. I did not play Before the Storm though. I'm one of those people that, I was the only child growing up. But I loved 2 to death. I think it was probably I think it was just it was the more different one. And especially when 3, it kind of went back to its roots a little bit. I agree with you, Rebecca. 1 is kind of a hallmark. If you would go back, I would definitely play 1 and just get that get the first game down. And if you really enjoy the characters around 1, I would do Before the Storm because it has a quick connection there and it's fresh on your mind. And then if you're really in for it, 2 is I think I think all of them are enjoyable. So just go for it.
I will say, I don't think for one, no, don't play them. Don't. It does. I don't even think it's out yet on Switch.
They're not on Switch. Yeah. So
yeah, I would say just as kind of a warning, because I know something that really turned a lot of people off of the first Life is Strange is how very much teenagery the characters are, using a lot of cringy types of slang sometimes, and just kind of talking like teenagers, and not
some
really
awkward
having
stuff in
real
there.
problems. You're coming off of Life is Strange 3, Alex has some very mature adult problems, and that's not the case at least not in the beginning of Life is Strange 1. I think without spoiling anything, that does change. If you play the first episode and you're like, no, this isn't for me, make it through episode 2. Just do at least that much before you give up on it.
I think it definitely need to build up on. You know what? I would say the first episode of Life is Strange 1 did not impress me at all. I think it really ramped up to me near the end, 3 or 4 really And I was like, okay, I need to finish this
3
up.
is like where it really picks up the most, but I would say give it to at least the end of episode 2.
Yeah.
Don't give up after episode 1. But yes, go play it, Dakekud. It's one of my favorite games of all time.
It's oh man, Life is Strange 1. When did I play that? It's like, man, 2016, 15 or something like that.
It came out in 2015, I think.
I was crying at the end. I was a real emotional person at the end.
It ruined my life in the best way possible.
That is, yeah, very emotional for sure.
Yes, play them all. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Garrett, you need to play Before the Storm. You will
I know.
fall in love with you know who.
They'll need to fix the remaster versions on Switch. Or not Switch, sorry, Steam.
I think they started to, but yeah, they need to finish.
I have the original Before the Storm as well on Steam, so I just got to play through it. I played the first episode, did not play the rest, but yeah, I'll definitely get back to it.
Oof. And then finally, the Don Robs question to cap us off here is for you specifically, Garrett. He says, Bland Explosion. Maybe you can speak to this one on the show. Question for the RPG gurus. He says, which should I play? You can either finish Octopath Traveler. He's already 35 hours into it. Xenoblade Definitive Edition, which he has not started. Dragon Quest XI, which he has not started, or Triangle Strategy, which he has not started.
Okay, Rebecca, gut check. Which game? Go for
Triangle
it.
Strategy.
You know what? I agree with you. You should pay and get Triangle Strategy and play.
Although, like, I'm a little interested. Like, you're 35 hours into Octopath Traveler. Like, how long is that game? Like, if you're near the end, like, probably just like finish it and then play Triangle Strategy. But like,
you know what?
I don't know.
This is a website I always go to when I think about which. Yeah, how long to beat?
I am like dedicated to that website.
I love that website because my time is value, and I just want to see how long. So you're looking at main story for Octopath Traveler on average 60.5 hours.
Okay, let me ask this: is that all seven Octopath? All 8 of the characters?
Yeah, that's the main story. That's like everything. Main story plus extra, that's 80 hours. So
maybe if you like you've done some of the characters and you feel like you have your fill on it, like do you really need to do all of the characters? Like I don't know how that game works.
Yeah, it's more like you go through rounds of each of the characters, and so for most of the game they're all kind of separate and doing their own thing.
But you can't play one path.
I don't think so. I think you have to do all of the characters in like this single round, and then you'll go to like the next round of chapters for each of the characters. At least that's my understanding, at least in the beginning part of it. All right, buddy. I would say if you're really enjoying Octopath Traveler, I would say go ahead and play some more of it. But if you are asking this question, I'm thinking that you are valuing your time and see if you want to finish it. And so if you're not really enjoying this game, I would actually pick up another RPG and just decide to close this one up. 30 guys, I know RPGs, I feel like this too. I want to finish things. I want to finish games, but like you can say, I've had my fill. I'm stopping right now and I can go to other games. That's fine to do. You've played quite a bit of this game, and so yeah, I would say go for another one.
How similar is Triangle Strategy? Is he gonna like that if he's like over Octopath Traveler?
I think they're actually pretty different games because Octopath Traveler is two things. It's one, it's very disparate because it has the 8 different side like character stories, and then B, it's turn-based combat where it's like left and right. It's very classic Final Fantasy Bravely Default type of combat, which is very different than Triangle Strategy. Triangle Strategy is like you're focused on 1 or 2 groups at a time, and they're just going on an adventure around the land And you actually make choices in agency based off of like which route you choose. So I think it's a much different game, even though they have similar art styles. I heard Triangle Strategy is great. There's a lot of dialogue, just like Octopath Traveler. So if you love dialogue and writing, Triangle Strategy is probably one I recommend. I love Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition a lot, but you have to understand what kind of game you're going into with that. Look up some gameplay, see if you're into it too. That's another $60, and then you're gonna have to go into 2 and 3 if you're gonna play the first one.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I was thinking. Like, that's a huge commitment, and like, are you really going to finish that and also the second game before 3 comes out in July? Because like you're going to be feeling some major FOMO and like trying to avoid spoilers and stuff when that game comes out if you get invested in the first game now. So like maybe you wait on that. And I don't have anything to say about Dragon Quest 11. I don't know what that is.
Dragon Quest 11. I heard it's great. Like it's a very classic JRPG feel, but I also hear it drags on and on, like more than the average JRPG. Like you're gonna defeat the villain like final villain like 8 times, and you're gonna do a time loop and spin past it and try to defeat the villains again. I hear it's very, very, very grindy and repetitive at the end. But yeah, I don't know. So if I'm looking at this, I say Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition or Triangle Strategy. But if you're really enjoying Octopath Traveler, finish that out. You got another 20 to 30 hours though. Just keep that in mind, at least.
Live Alive comes out in July.
Oh, yeah. Live Alive comes out in July. And that's also pretty similar to Octopath Traveler, where they have separate stories and they have their own little thing. I think Live Alive is going to be a little bit more, I don't know if it's going to be better, but at least it's not going to try to interconnect a lot like Octopath Traveler tried to do and didn't do so hot on. But
I hope that helps, Don Rob. I voiced my opinion, even though I have no right to have an opinion on this question.
All of these games are at least, I mean, Octopath Traveler is like 60 hours. I would say Triangle Strategy is about that time. Xenoblade, if you want to do a campaign and everything, that's 100 hours. Dragon Quest 11 is 70 to 80 hours. So you got a lot of game there. I want to try to finish those out. I want to play Dragon Quest 11 eventually, but I don't think I'll get there anytime soon. Eventually.
Okay. When we're 60.
You know what? When I retire, this is going to be a good... Yes. I'll be the old grandpa
on your
streamer.
Vita Island with food for dogs.
Yes. Get on the Vita Island with me. It's good stuff, man.
You made me want to get on the Vita Island, and I can't even name a Vita game. Like,
I don't think you should get a Vita because I don't know what game.
I feel like I'm missing out. I feel like I'm not part of the cool kids club.
I think the only reason you would get a Vita is to hack it and to put Zelda games on there, which is totally fine.
Even though I have like 7 other devices to play them on.
Yeah. I just speak a lot of it because that's kind of like the other handheld other than Nintendo handhelds that I really gravitated towards, and I'm playing RPGs there. So
I think I'm going through my handheld era where I just like don't
you like to get
handhelds, but I'm like when I was at PAX and I spent way too much money at PAX, by the way. I bought some really cool stuff.
Let's talk about that.
I bought 2 CIB Game Boy Advance games. I bought a bunch of little handhelds for my Analog Pocket that's coming later this year, which is going to be an additional way to play all these games, even though I have a Retroid Pocket. And then I saw somebody was selling what was it? I think it was a Game Boy Advance. It might have been an original Game Boy with it was like modified to have a backlit screen, but it was like the original hardware. And I'm like, wow, I really want this. And then I'm like, wait a second, why would I get that if I'm getting the Analog Pocket later this year? So like, I'm just like having like issues at this time with spending money unnecessarily. I didn't buy it.
The handhelds, it's good stuff. I think we're getting to a point other than Nintendo Switch where companies are realizing that handhelds are pretty cool. And we got the Playdate. You got, as you said, the Analog Pocket. We got the Steam Deck, which is very competitively priced for what it is. And then there's other third-party stuff. Like I look up on YouTube, there's so many like YouTubers now that are into the handheld emulation scene. There are at least hundreds of thousands of views on their reviews of these startup projects, and they just go through like their videos like, hey, this is the GameCube emulator, this is the PS1 emulator, here's what it looks like, this is how the form factor is. I think it's getting a pretty huge boom
and
right now.
I've been playing handheld on my Switch like back when it came out, like the first couple years of the Switch. I played pretty split, like about 50% console, 50% handheld. And now more and more, like I'm really only docking my Switch if I'm streaming it. If I'm like playing my Switch by myself, like not streaming, most like 95% of the time I'm playing in handheld mode these days.
Me too. And I tried to go back to my Switch Lite, and I just couldn't.
After the OLED?
Yeah, the OLED spoiled me. I had to squint my eyes on just a regular game, just not even Witcher, like Shin Megami Tensei. I'm just like,
it's good.
Why does it look such bland colors compared to the OLED? And I'm like, okay, I guess I just gotta get rid of this thing because I'm not gonna play it anymore on the Switch.
Is it? Your Switch Lite, so you can't hack it.
Yeah, I can't. Well, Switch Lite's hard to hack too. Yeah, just get rid of it.
Get rid of it.
I'm okay with. Yeah.
I have a Switch Lite that is from Donnie that I bought off of him. It's literally just I have not turned it on. It's just a shelf item because it's pretty, because it's the atomic purple.
Yeah, it looks super cool. Super cool.
I have such an issue.
No, you don't. Get all the handhelds you want.
I bought a bunch of cheap carts, like of like $3 games at PAX, like just so I have some cool stuff to try out when my pocket comes.
Yeah,
Brother Bear. There was a Brother Bear Game Boy Advance game.
I can believe that. And then is there you got the Super Circuit, right? Mario Kart Super Circuit?
I did, yeah. So I bought the cart for that, and then I bought the CID because it was so pretty. So I'm going to play the cart and never open the CID.
Good. That sounds good. All right.
Well, I think that's going to do it. Anyone who is getting Switch Sports this weekend, have fun. Let me know if you want to play. Maybe I'll play this weekend. I don't know. Maybe I'll stream it this weekend. Who knows? We'll see. I don't know what I'm going to do with that game. We'll see.
We'll see.
And otherwise, take care. Have a good week, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.